Hi guys, welcome back. As I said last week, I'm going to get into showing you what goes into building a guitar. As you can see, I've got a half complete one in front of me with the neck and two body halves that'll stack on top of each other and go together pretty well, I hope. This isn't going to be a how-to video, so if you want to build your own guitar, this probably isn't the best video to watch. You might pick up some tips and tricks, but this isn't going to be a how-to, so if you try anything that I do here and it doesn't work for you, don't blame me for it because I've just warned you. Today I'm going to show you how I place the holes in the body to place the potentiometers, which are pretty much what's underneath all your knobs that control your volume and tone. I'm going to show you how I first come up with the positions that I want to put them in. I'll show you drilling them out. I've also got the bridge that I'll be using to drill out as well. I'm going to be showing you how to drill the holes for your pots and knobs, and also I'll be drilling out holes for my bridge, which I haven't got sitting in front of here at the moment, but you'll see that later on when it's all drilled out. As you can see, I've already got the neck pocket and the pickup pockets routed. As you can see on the right hand piece, which is the back piece, there is also a pickup pocket routed. That's for the wiring, so I don't have to drill holes later on when it comes to putting it all together. There eventually will be more channels in that back piece routed to the controls cavity, which I'll do in a later video. But as you can see, this bit here, the figured macaw, will go on top of that figured paddock or paddock. I don't know how you pronounce it, but they will go together, and I'll carve up this top and make it look all pretty, and it should be pretty sweet. The neck is a piece of snake wood, which is a very nice and rare and very expensive piece of wood, so I definitely don't want to screw this one up. As you can see, the fretboard is way too thick at the moment, so I'll have to thin that out, which means I'll have to reslot all my frets, but that won't be an issue. I'll show you guys how to do that in a later video as well. The back of the neck is made of a black and white ebony, which I mainly bought because it's visually fantastic. It should make a great sounding neck. It should be reasonably strong. I've put a lot of trust in it. I'll show you guys how I carved that up in a later video, but as you can see, it's pretty much all cut out, ready to go. Just needs a bit of carving and it'll glue in pretty easily. But as you can see, it sits in the neck pocket just fine like that. So it should be pretty sweet when it comes time to put it all together. The first thing you want to do before you do anything to the wood is first of all mark out where you want everything to go, because you want to be certain where you drill holes, because you can take wood off but you can't put it back. Sometimes when you take wood off and you go a bit too far, it is fixable, but in the case of where your pots and bridge especially, it's not so fixable, so you want to be sure you get it right first. First thing you want to do is basically the bridge, just put it where it's supposed to go. As you can see, it's going pretty much right up against that bridge pickup, which is fine. It's at the right length when I put the neck in for my scale length. Then from there you pretty much either get another guitar with a similar bridge system, or you can just try and guess, because what you want to do is basically get a feel for how comfortable the guitar is and where your hand can easily get to, so you can turn the knobs, so when you actually do put it together you don't find out that your bridge gets in the way or the tremolo arm gets in the way of turning your knobs. So yeah, once you've got it all set out, basically hold it very still, just with your finger or with whatever, and just use a pencil, draw a circle around each one, find the middle of each of those circles, and then take it down to your shed, get a drill, and we'll be ready to drill some holes. So before you start going crazy drilling holes out, you obviously need to first choose the right drill bit. In this case I need your bridge post and obviously a potentiometer to get the right drill bit size. I've already got one set up for the drill in for my bridge post, so we're going to do that one first and make sure it fits. Obviously you want to make sure that the drill bit you use is slightly smaller than the bridge post because you want it to grip in tightly, not be loose, otherwise your bridge will fall out. The potentiometer doesn't matter as much, you can have a slightly bigger hole just as long as it's small enough so that any washers or nuts don't fall through at the same time when you try to put the potentiometer in. Otherwise that will be pretty bad and you will have possibly ruined your guitar, which won't be good. When you're about to drill the hole, obviously you want to make sure that you don't go too deep. If your guitar is only going to be a one-piece body, then obviously you want to make sure that you don't go all the way through. In this case, because I have two pieces back to back to each other, I can afford to go all the way through on this one, which I will be doing as I need to go all the way through so I can attach my grounding wire to the bridge post later on when I put it all together. So let's get drilling. As you can see, it's pretty easy to do. Just make sure that our bridge post fits and we can start drilling all the other holes. Perfect. No, it's good when it's hard to get back out again. Let's do the rest. Pot number one, let's do it. Perfect. And there you have it, guys, all the holes drilled out. Now for the moment of truth, making sure that bridge fits. So once you've drilled everything out, it's time to test fit everything and make sure everything fits. As you can see, our pots fit in every hole just fine, like they should, because I used the same drill bit for all of them. But the scariest part for me is always making sure that the bridge lines up perfect with these posts. Otherwise, I will have a lot of problems trying to get the bridge on later and it might not look very nice on the outside either. I'm a bit nervous about doing this on camera, as I actually haven't tested this yet before filming, so you will get a genuine reaction if something is wrong, and I apologise for any swearing if that happens. So, as you can see, it's a nice tight fit. They don't have to go all the way in, of course, as it's just a test fit, and you'll obviously just hammer them in later. Because they have little things on them that grip the wood, which will make it almost impossible to get out later. So yeah, let's get on with this bridge and let's hope it works. I'm really nervous about this. So that's one on. Yes! Look at that. That is on perfect. That's probably the best I've ever done it. Sometimes I've done it slightly too wide and I've had to really force it in there. But this is on. Bang on perfect. I am actually quite happy with myself with this. Awesome. That's all for this episode, guys. I hope you've sort of learnt something. I know it probably wasn't the most exciting thing in the world, but it will get a bit more detailed later on when we get to routing out the cavities, putting that switch in. I have to route the neck pocket a bit deeper, so I'll do that. I have to route the main controls cavity. I have to do more sanding. I have to carve the top. There's still heaps to do on this guitar, so there'll be plenty more to document and plenty more to watch later on. Next time I might actually route out the control cavity. I might carve the neck, I might do the tuning peg holes. It could be anything, I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see when we get around to it. But this guitar should come together pretty quickly, and hopefully you guys will enjoy watching it being made. I'm sorry that this isn't going to be a very detailed documentation on how a guitar is actually made. I know I've already done half the work by cutting out a neck and cutting out the body and haven't shown you guys how to draw up your own body if you want to make your own guitar. But once this guitar's done and I've got stuff to build another guitar, I might actually do more or less a how-to with more detail in what goes into firstly coming up with the design, how to measure everything, making sure that everything lines up perfectly, and we might have a bit of fun on the CNC machine behind me when it comes to doing inlays, but we'll see how that goes because I'm not quite used to using the CNC machine yet, nor have I used it on any guitars, because I like to stick to handmade, but for some fancy artistic bits I guess it could come in handy, so we'll see if we can get around to doing that. But next time we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll be a fair bit more interesting than just drilling a few holes, but this guitar when it's done should be looking fantastic. You guys will surely enjoy the end result when we get to it. Until next time, Daniel Peake. See you later.